Want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that we learn this truth from. Peace and blessings to the elders. Double honors to them that labor night and day, making sure that the 144,000 are well fed. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, 144,000. The 12 tribes of Israel, and to all the Aqua that are listening in silence, and to all the remnant of the 144,000 that might look like these other nations. Shalom. All right. As you already know, the scriptures even say, why does the heathen rage? Well, they rage because they want to have control, and they rage because they have a God complex. So this is why they rage. All right. As you see right here, the title, U.S. seizes a second vessel. All right. They do it again. And even that right here, a second oil tanker. All right. They are trying to cut off money. Because just like how I showed in my posts and my videos, it was a while ago that I showed this. I even showed that this happened during his first term. He was trying to take hold of Venezuela. And that's why people gotta listen when we make these videos. And stop running from it. But actually listen to it. Because if you was listening to these videos, you would know what's going on. But most people are afraid to listen. And some just don't want to listen. And then you get caught up not knowing what's going on when you should be in the know. But this is happening again with the United States. They have another vessel. This is the second one. And I don't see this stopping anytime soon, because we know that Russia is allies with Venezuela. And China, Slovakia, is allies with Venezuela. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is spinning all this up. So this can come to a head. These wars and rumor of wars are soon going to come true. And seeing Iran are confederate with Russia. And they're waiting for the right moment. And Russia already has given Iran nukes. So the United States is trying to starve them out, because they know they need that oil for financial reasons, but also for most definitely for war efforts. You can't power your jets, your tanks, without that oil. You can't manufacture stuff without that oil. So, this is why this heathen rages. To take hold of this. Let's go up this. I'm so glad I got a touch screen. And it says right here, U.S. strikes another alleged drug vessel in the Caribbean Sea. And you know, it's a video. I don't know if I showed it, but I might have to put it on this video. That the fishers that are out there that like to go fishing for fish so they can take care of their family, they are afraid to go out there to fish. because they're afraid that their ships will be bombed. You shouldn't be afraid of that. That should not even be a fear. But it's a fear when anytime you have someone out here doing stuff that they're not supposed to do. And that's a problem. That is a real problem. So now people are starving because of fear of being blown up. I mean, I would have fear too. I mean, you got a drone that's so high up you can't even see it. And you out there trying to fish for fish so you can feed your family. That shows you how this heathen is. This is showing you everything what this heathen is doing. We go ahead and play some of this video. We get a strike, we get or copyright. I mean, too many times I done said it and they give you a damn strike anyway.
According to reports from Reuters, the U.S. is seizing and has seized a sanctioned vessel in international waters. This comes just days after President Trump announced the, quote, blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. Joining me now to discuss this and a lot more is News Nation political and economic contributor and former Trump acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney. Mick, always glad to have you on this show, especially following some breaking news that we're just getting. And I want to talk about that a little bit first. The New York Times...
Less than a week after 2 American soldiers and a U.S. translator were killed in Syria, President Trump says the United States has responded with multiple airstrikes. The administration says the strikes send a direct message to ISIS and a warning that attacks on Americans will be met with overwhelming force. Meanwhile, we're learning that U.S. forces seized a second oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Lucas Tomlinson is in West Palm Beach, Florida, with the very latest. Lucas.
John, a U.S. official says a Coast Guard Special Maritime Reaction Team seized a second oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. It's the second time.
So, they seized the second one. So, for different news sources, you're seeing that this is really going down. The heathen rages. Because they know they only have a short period of time. A very short period of time. See, people are not understanding all this stuff that's going on. And people need to wake up. They really need to wake up. This is part of all the evilness that's going on. And then these fools are also talking about this. They're talking about this too. This happened a month ago.
We get a first look at a new documentary on UAPs and what government officials may know about top secret programs on the subject. It features testimony from 34 high-ranking government officials. My colleague Brett Baer speaks with the director and producer of The Age of Disclosure.
We've had repeated instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
They have both deactivated and activated nuclear weapons with both the United States and Russia.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
The UAP activity surrounding nuclear weapons is not a historic issue. It's an ongoing issue.
Well, joining us now to talk about his new film, The Age of Disclosure, is director and producer Dan Farah. He says the documentary...
He's a director. He's another Steven Spielberg. See, what we also got to keep in mind, too, that there are angels on the left and there are angels on the right. And see, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, especially Yahweh, he likes a good fight. Best believe he used those angels on the left to give him some technology, but not the supreme technology. He likes a good fight. Why wouldn't the Father like a good fight? I mean, come on, man. He has to show his power. He has to show his power. See, Esau thinks he's running this whole show with the oil, stealing this. No, the Heavenly Father's putting all this in his head to do these things. For him to think that he has full control. Of course, he wants to think he got full control. When he don't got full control. It's the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, who has full control. So the technology that has been hidden, now some of these your silos and with the nukes probably have been shut down by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Or it could be a psyop that they're saying that they're being shut down. But the point is this. We know the technology is there. And since the technology is there, we know that they're going to use it in that last days because no regular jet can even try to come against a chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's no way that they have a chance. I mean, come on. It's no way. These U.S. fighter jets, these Chinese fighter jets, we even have a chance at fighting at one chariot. Come on, man. So you know that the angels on the left-hand side has given them some technology to make them feel that they can actually cream anybody or anything in the universe. And the Father loves that. Just like in Egypt, he made Pharaoh's heart harden, and he thought that he could just go back and get those Israelites. He made him think that he could actually do it, but he can't. So when Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai come, he's going to have his chariots, and the United States are going to have their chariots, and their chariots are going to fail miserably. It's going to be so beautiful to see the real versus the fake. Well, there's a real, but it's not more powerful than Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Those are those real powerful chariots. The real chariots that has the real power. And then we're going to take over this place. Because it's only destined for us to be. And then they're going into captivity. You know. As it's brought out in Isaiah. And a lot of people have heard it before. I had some family over the house yesterday. Had a very good time. Got to see some family members and read some scriptures and scriptures of truth, you know, not scriptures of lies. You know, it was wonderful, and it was wonderful to see how when you're reading scriptures of truth, how it makes the whole atmosphere feel. You know, to see the love with your brother, the love with your sisters and the children. See that spirit comes out. You know. Because you never forsake the gathering. But as it reads in Isaiah 14, we're going to start in verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And that land is Jerusalem. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. Right? Okay? Those are our Israelites. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. See, we're gonna take these Edomites to our place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. See, we're going to rule over the oppressors who've been ruling over us. We're going to rule over these people who has been ruling and taking destruction on this earth. We're going to rule over them. We're going to take hold over them. Because we was captives under them. Wasn't we? See, we were once slaves. We were. See, we was once captive under them. We were. We were beaten, taken to a far distant land. Same thing done unto us will be done unto them. We're going to take them captives. They're going to be servants and handmaids. See, if you're reading this from a Ku Klux Klan, because they believe in the Bible too. That's why they believe in what they're doing is right. See, when a Ku Klux Klan member reads this, see, unless you disguise yourself and go to one of their forums, which I did one time, not to a Ku Klux Klan, but one of these live things where you could listen in. And I heard them talk. I should have recorded it. And to hear them say the stuff that they were saying, man, it was crazy. How they believe certain things and how they look at the scriptures. But it says, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, shall give thee rest. See, give thee rest. To have rest, to relax, to no longer stress, to feel better, to be calm. See, we are constantly looking for vacations and time off for a rest. This is not our rest. Our rest comes when we are totally at ease, that we do not have to worry about this heathen. See, when my little sis was listening to us read the Bible, I hope that she hears this video. But I didn't get to bring it out, but when she was talking about, you're a bunch of heathens. You know, we used to say that stuff as growing up. Bunch of heathens. Because the Israelites were heathens at one time. Those that did not want to hold on to the word. But also, these Edomites, these so-called white people, the ones that come from the bloodline of Edom, because there are some of them that look white, but they are Israelites. Those are heathens. And if you're acting like a heathen, not knowing the law, not knowing the statutes and the commandments, you are considered a heathen. And also considered a stranger. All right? Or Gentile, not knowing the laws. See, we was in these chains, and they're going to go into those chains. But this is not our rest, to rest. When the rest comes, the 1,000 years rest, We won't have to worry about them doing the things that they've been doing now. We won't have to worry about their laws and their rules. And let me continue. From thy sorrow and from thy fear. Yeah, we have fear of these Edomites because the things that they do shall give fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. All right? We will have rest from the bondage of having to do a 9 to 5, having to pay these outstanding taxes. We will have rest from worry about red light, green light, you know what I'm saying? Running stop signs. Their whole infrastructure will be brought down to nothing. And the only thing we will be focused on is praying to the Heavenly Father through His only begotten Son, Yahushua. Yahushua will be on the earth. King David will be our king once again. The 144,000 will be ruling, judging the house of Israel, and ruling over these other nations who are not Israelites, putting them into captivity, and all those that had a part in it. That is what's going to happen when that 1,000-year rest comes. This is verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how thou the oppressor ceased. See? That will be no more. These Edomites will be no more. The golden city cease. Verse 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked. That means the power. Imagine a man who has a cane, but he holds great power. But he's using that cane so he can continue to walk and to direct his power. Imagine that being broken. So that man's going to fall. And the scepter of the rulers. See? Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations. That means a particular family. And that, as we read in nations, what nations mean, family, a certain lineage, and anger is persecuted, and non hithereth. The whole earth is at rest. So, let me pause. See, when this day comes, the whole earth is going to be at rest because we don't have to worry about all these so-called Donald Trumpians running around trying to be dictators, stealing oil, stealing resources, stealing food, doing all these abominable things. We won't have to worry about it no more. We won't have to worry about it no more. And is quiet. See? Quiet. Peace. Sometimes you need quietness. They break forth into singing. Verse 8. Ye the fig tree rejoice at thee, and the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feather is come up against us. That's talking about no lumberjack. No man that likes to cut down trees all the damn time. And now they're having a thing saying, NASA saying that we're not going to have no oxygen in the air. I remember Spaceballs, they had air in a can. But that's another subject. Well, you kind of wouldn't have any air if you keep cutting down all these trees. Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It strength up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomps is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cry out, Salakia, cut down to the ground, which dideth weaken the nations. So when this white man falls, we're going to say, is this the same white man that weakened the nations? That's what it says. Verse 13, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregations and the side of the north. That's being above the earth. Verse 14, I will ascend above the highest of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. And see, that is exactly how these Edomites feel. They feel that they will be just like the Most High, that they are God. That's how they feel. But they're not. Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. And hell isn't a fiery burning place. Hell is the grave. To the sides of the pit. Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And see, and this is what people are going to say. Even the nations that took a part in our slavery, all right, the Arabs, they're going to see the white man be beaten, brutalized, because they are of Edom, the synagogue of Satan. They're going to see them go through true, as people would say, hell, because of the wickedness that they have done. They're going to see that. And this is in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. I read from 1 to 16. It's a very good read. This same thing that happened to us is going to happen unto them. So when you look at the United States, they have the certain colors. They have red, white, and blue, symbolizing the blood that they shed, and the white as the holiness, and the blue as in that is the earth. That is not their colors. Those are our colors. We have shed our blood. We are holy, and we are the ones of the earth. This is Ephesians chapter 1, and I'm going to start in verse 4. According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundations of the world. That means before the earth was even created, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. See, that is talking about the elect men right there, who were chosen before the foundations of the world. And we will see all this take place. And the nations will see all this take place. But we are the ones that are chosen. The hopeful elect. And I hope that I am of the hopeful elect. I hope that I am of the hopeful elect. Because see, the hopeful elect are going to be the ones who are going to be the hunters. They're going to hunt out these Edomites who tried to hide themselves in these caves, in these bunkers, because of fear of slavery. And we're going to grab them and we're going to chain them up, and they're going to have to work for 1,000 years of hard bondage to build our city, just as we built their cities. That is what's going to happen unto them. So I hope that this lesson was edifying to all the Akim. Shalom.